Hello and welcome to Brandy's Poetry Corner, reading from Langston Hughes' selected poems. Bought at Margate Bookshop, independent bookshop. Support your local independent bookshop. Langston Hughes put together this selection of his poems in 1959. And so it reflects a time then and earlier about being a Black American. An American of colour. And this even reflects, Americans of colour coming back from fighting in the Second World War. There are there are songs about the Freedom Train, and this is a take of Langston Hughes' views on the Freedom Train, and it's called Freedom Train by Langston Hughes. I read in the papers about the Freedom Train. I heard on the radio about the Freedom Train. I see folks talking about the Freedom Train. Lord, I've been waiting for the Freedom Train. Down south in Dixie, only train I see's got a Jim Crow car set aside for me. I hope there ain't no Jim Crow on the Freedom Train. No backdoor entrance to the Freedom Train. No sign for coloureds on the Freedom Train. No white folks only on the Freedom Train. I'm going to check up on this Freedom Train. Who's the engineer on the Freedom Train? Can a coal black man drive the Freedom Train? Or am I still a porter on the Freedom Train? Is there ballot boxes on the Freedom Train? When it stops in Mississippi, will it be made plain everybody's got a right to board the Freedom Train? Somebody tell me about this Freedom Train. The Birmingham station's marked coloured and white. The white folks go left, the coloured go right. They even got a segregated lane. Is that the way to get aboard the Freedom Train? I got to know about this Freedom Train. If my children ask me, Daddy, please explain why there's Jim Crow stations for the Freedom Train, what shall I tell my children? You tell me, 'cause freedom ain't freedom when a man ain't free. But maybe they explains it on the Freedom Train. When my grandmother in Atlanta, 83 and black, gets in line to see the Freedom, will some white man yell, "Get back, a Negro's got no business on the Freedom track"? Mister, I thought it were a Freedom Train. Her grandson's name is Jimmy. He died at Anzio. He died for real, it weren't no show. The freedom that they're carrying on this Freedom Train, is it for real or just a show again? Jimmy wants to know about the Freedom Train. Will his Freedom Train come zooming down the track, gleaming in the sunlight for white and black, not stopping at no stations marked coloured or nor white, just stopping in the fields in the broad daylight, stopping in the country in the wide open air, where there never was no Jim Crow signs nowhere. No welcoming committees, no politicians of note, no mayors and such for which coloureds can't vote, and nary a sign of a colour line, for the Freedom Train will be yours and mine. Then maybe from their graves in Anzio, the GIs who fought will say, "We wanted it so." Black men and white will say, "Ain't it fine? At home they got a train that's yours and mine." Then I'll shout, "Glory for the Freedom Train." I'll holler, "Blow your whistle, Freedom Train." Thank God Almighty, there's the Freedom Train. Get on board our Freedom Train. Thank you. With apologies to all Black Americans, because I know I read that in my accent. But I did try and say Birmingham and not Birmingham, which is what I would normally say if I was referring to the Birmingham in England. For more poems read by me, look me up, Brandy Pearson on YouTube. Thank you.